I've certainly got enough falling tree jokes in my time. Someone would say, "Oh, Tim Burr, Tim Burr."
Probably the biggest thing I've heard is, "You're such a putz." Well, okay, all right. Yes, that's my last name, so yes, I am a putz. But, you know, some people look at that as, well, you're a klutz or you're a failure.
Where are the klutzes?
I was teaching inner city 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and I didn't want to put that name up there. So I did not put Slutsky up there. For some reason, I wrote Slotsky, S-L-O-T-S-K-Y.
Her name is Linda McCartney.
Okay, my name is Linda McCartney.
And my name is Paul McCartney. We've been married for 26 years. The Beatles arrived in 1964, and I was born in 1958. As a kid, it was very tough to deal with having the name Paul McCartney. No child wants that kind of attention. I actually think it had a huge impact on my personality.
We are the Duck Family.
I got lost in 1967 at the Expo in Montreal, Canada. We were going into the United States Pavilion. I was at the bottom of the escalator and my parents ended up at the top of the escalator, so I got lost. And I remember contacting security and they asked me my name and I said, "My name's Donald Duck." And they said, "Well, what's your father's name?" And I said, "My father's name is Donald Duck as well." And I remember the one person saying to the other one, "I'm not saying that over the intercom."
"My name is Bond." And then they'd be like, "Okay, so what's your first name?" "James." And then just like, they turn around slowly like, "Really?" Dude, that's the coolest name ever.
My full name is Ronald James McDonald IV. My grandfather and great-grandfather were around before the hamburger, so they didn't have to deal with this. So my father was born in '48, so he barely had to tolerate it. For me, it was horrible.
When I show up for a reservation, they know Donald Sutherland's not gonna be there.
Hi, I'm Donald Sutherland.
You're Donald Sutherland.
Yes.
But even when I show up, they kind of still, you can feel that disappointment.
You look different than the movies.
My full name is Donald L. Trump. My dad's full name was Donald L. Trump. My mother named me Skip Trump. In the last few months, I've increasingly used Skip Trump, even in professional situations, because the other Donald Trump has gotten a lot of attention.
And joining us now is local producer Richard Tilken. And Richard, first of all, welcome back, because you worked here at CVB a long time ago.
I did, a long time ago. Thank you very much. Many years ago, for the old timers, I worked on the Good Day Show and Sunday Open House. And they say you can never go home again, but I feel like I'm home. So thank
welcome
you.
home.
All right, so what a great concept for a film. What was the motivation behind making this movie?
The motivation was really about thinking about people that had head-turning names that I would meet throughout my life, and thinking about what kind of impact the names would have on their lives. So, you know, as an adult, as a teenager, as a child. So if you look at the clip of Ronald McDonald there, later in the film, he talked about the fact that he went to 10 schools in 5 years because his parents moved around a lot. And every single time he went to a different school, there was a different roll call, they mentioned his name, and kids, he said, laughed for 5 straight minutes. You know, so, you know, what kind of lasting impact might that have on someone? So those were the kinds of questions we were really interested in. And at our company, Boston Digital Productions, we had just come off of a very serious documentary on mortality called Aside From That. So this was kind of an opportunity for us to do something that was lighter and a little more entertainment value.
How did you find your subjects with these interesting names, and was that challenging?
That was the most challenging part, really, because people that have been harassed most of their lives basically have unlisted everything. So we scoured the web, LinkedIn and Facebook, and looked through phone books. We tried to cultivate our own contacts as well. And our team of Jen and Lisa, Rocco, and some interns that came through, we made hundreds of calls once we got the contact information. And we were rejected 99% of the time. You see a little bit of that in the film. But we were fortunate to find 36 brave souls that allowed us to tell their story.
Now, a few people talked about the drawbacks of having an unusual name. How did they cope?
I think, they all found different ways to cope, but the hardest part was when they were kids and when they were teenagers. They didn't want to be distinctive. They didn't want to stand out. But then as they got older, they kind of found a strategic way to use it in their lives. Some of them became comedians, some of them used it in sales, some of them used it in branding. Their names were really memorable. So it was interesting to see them take something that was challenging and really make the transition into something that was positive in their lives.
So they found a way to make what was distinctive and embarrassing, perhaps as a young person, distinctive work to their advantage as an older person.
Exactly.
That's great. All right, did anyone attempt to change their name?
A couple people changed it just through marriage.
It's an out.
It was an out, and they took that out. But for the most part, people were just very proud of their heritage, proud of their history, and proud of their name. So they did not, and they stuck with it.
And most importantly, where can people see the movie?
It's on Netflix in the U.S. It's on Netflix in 5 other countries. It's on 23 cable and digital platforms: Verizon, iTunes, Comcast, etc. And people that see it seem to think it's entertaining and engaging, and we hope they check it out.
All right, Richard Tilken, thank you so much, and we will be right back.